We've seen some very interesting cards going up this past week, and today I'm telling you about the 5 hottest.
My name is Jeff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love.
Sports card investors, and welcome to another episode. Oh man, we've got some cards to talk about today. I got 5 cards for you guys that are going up and some pretty intriguing reasons as to why. But first, I want to make sure that you are registered for the Virtual Sports Card Con 2020. This is a virtual sports card conference that dealers from around the nation are going to participate in, streaming live on YouTube, taking place during the days that the National Sports Collectors Convention was originally scheduled for, starting July 29th, and it is going to be free for you to attend. All you need to do is go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on the Virtual 2020 in the main menu bar to register for your free ticket. You don't want to miss out. We've got almost 50 dealers from around the country registered so far to come on the live stream and show all of the cards that they would have otherwise sold at the National Sports Collectors Convention, and they will be for sale live during the live stream. Deals to be had. So make sure to register, and if you are a dealer, register as well. This is completely free. This is something my team and I are doing to give back to the hobby, to give back to the community completely for free for dealers as well as for attendees. So go to the website, sportscardinvestor.com, and click on the Virtual 2020 to register as an attendee or to register as a dealer. Look forward to seeing you there. Okay, guys, let's talk about 5 cards that are going up, and we are going to start with an iconic player. Iconic a little bit for on-the-field reasons, but iconic especially for off-the-field reasons. We're going to start with Colin Kaepernick, and we are going to start with his 2011 Topps football card in PSA 10. And I have an interesting story to tell you, because on one hand, his cards have been going up because of the iconic nature of the stand that Colin Kaepernick took, or I shouldn't say the stand, I guess the kneel that Colin Kaepernick took, and the fact that many NFL players are already saying that this season they are going to kneel. They are going to do what Kaepernick did a few years ago, and they are going to kneel. So there is the iconic nature of his card for that reason, and I believe that's the reason why some people are buying it and his cards are going up in price. However, people are also manipulating the market right now around Colin Kaepernick cards. You have to be very careful. People are absolutely trying to buy his cards up to make it look like they are rising at a price that is faster than they actually legitimately are rising for. This is an example of bad actors in the hobby, frankly, scum of the sports card hobby that are trying to take advantage of sports card investors and collectors like you and I, legitimate sports card investors and collectors, by trying to make prices go up artificially. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So this is my Market Movers data tool, and this is the price graph, unfiltered, of Colin Kaepernick's 2011 Topps football in PSA 10. And if you look at it, you'll see this amazing run in price where his cards have gone all the way up to $283. And there's a few different sales averaged in on that day. So there's multiple sales which are pushing his prices upwards of $300. However, a lot of these sales are from individuals with buyer feedback ratings of either 0 or less than 10. Be very suspicious. These could be brand new eBay accounts that people created specifically for the purpose of trying to artificially show that there were sales that were higher than they actually were. What these people often do with these brand new accounts is they will bid on cards to get the price up, and then they will never pay for them. But eBay has a flaw in its completed item data in which that those sales still show up. So people who are looking at recent price history on eBay are going to see those sales and not realize they may not be looking at a legitimate sale. Within my Market Movers data tool, we fight back against this problem. And we do that down here in the corner by allowing you to uncheck allowing you to check that you want to exclude no feedback and you want to exclude less than 10 feedback. By the way, you can also turn off certain sellers that sometimes have their prices shill bidded. Once you do that, you can see that now the top sale of this card in our data is only $150. We've got a few days of sales up here at $150. So the cards have still gone up. There are still absolutely legitimate sales of this Colin Kaepernick card that have gone up to the $150 point. And this card used to be selling a couple months ago for as little as $25. So there has absolutely been a rise in price around Colin Kaepernick, but they haven't legitimately gone all the way up to $300, or at least they probably haven't. I can't tell for sure, but what I can tell you is that I'm suspicious of the buyers who were paying $300 for this card because of the fact they had 0 or 2 or some other very low number of buyer feedback rating. The buyers who are paying $150 for this card have been legitimate. So that's why we do this type of filtering in Market Movers. It's something you need to be very aware of as you are buying and investing in sports cards, whether you're a user of Market Movers or just looking at completed sales on eBay. Be careful out there. Colin Kaepernick deserves absolutely to be the number one guy on the list in terms of his cards being hot, but they may not be quite as hot as you otherwise would think they were if you were looking at that data. Now, I'm curious to know from you in the comments below, what are your thoughts on Colin Kaepernick's cards at this point in time? Is it an iconic card? Is his actions off of the football field worthy of this card continuing to escalate and being known as a card that is a true sought-after collectible card for years to come? Or is that not the case? Because on the football field, while he was good, and he certainly led the 49ers to the Super Bowl one year, and he definitely had some success, he obviously hasn't had the degree of success, or you could argue perhaps not the opportunity given to him, that other star quarterbacks have had. So I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are right now on Colin Kaepernick's card prices. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, let's move on to another NFL quarterback whose cards have been going up for a different reason. Let's look at Derek Carr. Now, Derek Carr's prices have also been on the rise, and there is a couple of different reasons for that. First of all, let's look at his cards. This is his 2014 Topps Chrome in PSA 10, and you can see that it has been on a slow but steady climb since March, since April. It has been going up slow and steady, and really a lot of this climb came after the NFL draft. So this is around the time that the NFL draft occurred, and you can see this climb that has occurred the last couple of months since then. Quite a nice trend line. That's the dotted line on your screen. Quite a nice trend line going up. Well, this makes sense because the Raiders used their first pick in the NFL draft for a wide receiver. So now he's got a new weapon. Also, there was some speculation that the Raiders could have taken another quarterback early in the draft, that maybe Derek Carr's days as leading the Raiders were numbered, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And so I think the vote of confidence in Derek Carr, combined with him getting some offensive weapons, has helped. Additionally, I think the move to Las Vegas has people excited. I think that the Raiders will be a team that gets a lot of attention next season being in Las Vegas, moving from Oakland to Las Vegas. So I think that Derek Carr's card prices are benefiting as a result. People are anticipating that this year. And as we get closer and closer to the season, I could see his prices continue to rise. These are reasonably priced cards. The high point sale on this card right now is about $73. These cards have been selling for, $50 plus, and then some sales here a little bit below $50, recently. But these cards were as low as $10 back in April, as low as $10 back in April. So they've gone on a nice climb, but they're still relatively affordable. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders this fall. By the way, if you're a believer in Derek Carr, I should mention to you that you can find some of his cards right now on eBay for pretty decent deals. And my Market Movers data tool can help you see that. In fact, this is a brand new feature that we added into Market Movers. Right now, it will show you all of the active buy it now listings on eBay and how far above or below current market value they are. And this top card right here, $3.67 below market value. This card most recently sold for $73.66, currently available for $69 right now if you go there to buy it now through eBay. Not a huge savings, obviously. You're saving a few bucks below market value. But if you're going to be hunting around for his cards, why not buy the cheapest one? And that's one thing Market Movers can now help you do. It scours every listing for sale on eBay and surfaces the ones that are the best value, surfaces the ones that are underneath market value for you. So if you're investing in sports cards, this thing can save you money by helping you get in and out and buy the cards at the best possible price. All right, let's shift over to basketball. Basketball is certainly where the big news has been recently. The NBA announcing that they will resume their season at the end of July, an 8-game regular season involving 22 of the NBA teams, followed by the playoffs. We're going to jump right into the playoffs after 8 regular season games to help establish seeding and help establish who made it. Savvy sports card investors are now taking this opportunity to really think about who are some of the players who could be in the spotlight once the NBA playoffs resume. And I think there is a real opportunity to think creatively about who could be in the spotlight, not just the traditional everyday big names, but who are some of the supporting players on the big teams that could find their way into an important spotlight role in the playoffs. One of those players is Kyle Kuzma of the Los Angeles Lakers. I've mentioned him on my show before. I think Kyle Kuzma is an intriguing player to think about buying right now because the Lakers are one of the favorites to win the NBA Finals. And if the Lakers do win the NBA Finals, it's not just going to be LeBron and Anthony Davis who benefit. There will be other players on the Lakers who benefit as well. So if you ask yourself who could be a third player on the Lakers who could get some spotlight time, maybe hit a big shot or two, maybe get some highlight reel time during the finals, maybe Kyle Kuzma is that guy. Let's look at Kyle Kuzma's card prices. This is his 2017 base Prism card in PSA 10, and you can see it has been on a nice, slow, steady climb for the last 2 months. And especially ever since the NBA announced their plans to return to play these last few days, it's continued to go up and push up a little bit further. So this card has recently been in the neighborhood of about $75 to $80 over the last few days. This was a card you could have had back on April the 8th for as little as $27. So this is a huge gain over the course of the last 2 months. And I think what you have is people anticipating basketball to be back, people anticipating the Lakers to be in the spotlight, and people anticipating Kyle Kuzma to potentially have a chance to shine. Now let's look back at last year's NBA playoffs and think about another player back then who had a similar opportunity to what Kyle Kuzma had this year. On the winning NBA team last year, the Toronto Raptors, obviously Kawhi Leonard was the biggest star, but Pascal Siakam really got into the spotlight last year and had a coming out party. And his prices went up last year, and now this year, he has been the man. As Kawhi left for LA, Siakam has led the Toronto Raptors to a great season. They have the second best record in the East. They played exceptionally well this year. At times, the Raptors this year have played better than the Raptors did last year. And of course, the Raptors last year won the title. So people are excited about Siakam and what the Raptors could potentially do in the playoffs. And you can see that again reflected in his card prices. This is his 2016 Prism Silver card, a card that you could have bought back at the end of March for as little as $357. And in recent days, this card has been going for $737. $783. So this card is now pushing $800 for a card that was sub $400 just a couple of months ago. I think people are excited about seeing what Siakam can do in the playoffs and how the Raptors, led by him, are going to look this year and what kind of pressure they could potentially put on the Bucks, maybe making it to the NBA Finals. It's going to be a fun Eastern Conference playoffs to watch this year to see who those teams are that can put pressure on the Bucks, and certainly the Raptors are potentially one of those teams. All right, for our fifth and final player, let's turn our attention over to baseball, and let's go with Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves. Yes, my hometown Atlanta Braves. He is the second baseman, great defensive skills, still a young player, 23 years old. Last year, he hit 24 home runs, batted .295. A lot of people think he has potential to continue to increase. And in fact, I don't know how many people look at this or if this could be the reason why his card prices are starting to go up. But Baseball Reference, which by the way is an excellent website for people out there wanting to look at detailed stats of players and do statistical comparisons and use that as a reference for potential sports cards to invest in. Baseball Reference is an excellent website. They have been simulating the 2020 season using the software Out of the Park Baseball 2021. And in their simulation, as of today, Ozzie Albies is batting .372. He has a batting average of .372 according to the Baseball Reference simulation of the 2020 season. Now, I have no idea if anyone out there is actually paying attention to the Baseball Reference 2020 season simulation, but if they are, and if they see Albies with a .372 batting average, then perhaps that explains why people are buying up his cards and they're excited about him as this season goes on. And you can see that trend here. This is his 2018 Topps Chrome in PSA 10. And this was a card that just a couple of months ago at the end of March, you could have gotten for as little as $19.50. And in recent days, this card has been bouncing around anywhere between $30 and $40. That's what the sales have been over the last several days. In fact, yeah, they've hit $40 several times over the last couple of weeks. So again, a card that was $19 now all the way up to between $30 and $40, and just a strong general trend line, as you can see on the screen. This is still a very, very affordable card. It's a card that you can get into rather inexpensively. But I think people are anticipating, maybe Albies is going to be the 1-2 punch with Acuna on the Braves. Maybe the two of them lead the Braves to postseason success this year. And if he can bat anywhere close to that batting average that Baseball Reference has him batting at right now, could be a really, really good season for his card prices. So that's why Ozzie Albies makes this week's top 5 hottest cards as well. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't registered yet for the virtual Sports Card Con 2020, go to my website, sportscardinvestor.com, and do that right now. And while you are there, please check out my membership program. If you would like access to this market movers data tool to be looking at all of the cards across my system, what cards are hot on any given day, and be able to make buying decisions based upon this information, this helps you be a smarter sports card investor. And you can access this software by signing up for the market mover level of my membership program. All of that information is on my website, sportscardinvestor.com. Click on membership in the main menu bar. Thanks everybody. Hope you're having a great week, and I will see you back again in a couple of days for my next episode. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube, hit the little bell icon. I really appreciate every subscription. It makes a big difference. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.